Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to our today's talk. In our today's talk, we want to have a look at the various causes of diarrhea. There are several causes of diarrhea that we want to have this time to look at today. Now, before we look at the causes, let's take note of the following points. Point number one, it's important to note that diarrhea can be suffered by anyone, irrespective of the age, the sex, and even the race. It's also important to note that diarrhea can be very serious among the following groups of people. The first group is the very young, especially those who are under 5 years old. The second group are those who are very old, the ones we refer to as the elderly. The third group of people is that group of people who have got an underlying medical condition. For example, those with diabetes mellitus, those with chronic kidney disease, and even those with cancer, and those with HIV disease. Now, what are the causes of diarrhea? Now, causes of diarrhea are broadly classified into two. The first classification is referred to as the infective causes of diarrhea. The second classification is called the non-infective causes of diarrhea. Now, let's have a look at each one by one. What are the infective causes of diarrhea? Now, the infective causes of diarrhea are also classified into four major subclasses. The first subclass is what we call the bacterial causes. So these are groups of bacteria that can infect an individual and then leading to diarrhea. Now, under the bacterial causes of diarrhea, we have a variety of bacteria that can lead to the same. For example, as seen in Shigella, or what we call shigellosis. The second bacteria is Salmonella, as seen in Salmonellosis. The third bacteria is Campylobacter. The next one, Staphylococcus, and Yersinia pestis, among others. The second subclass of the infective causes of diarrhea belongs to the viruses. So the common viruses that are commonly linked to diarrhea are as follows. The first one, rotavirus. Number two, the norovirus, adenovirus, cytomegalovirus, and even COVID-19 virus, among others. The third subclass of infective causes of diarrhea belongs to the parasites. And of course, there are also several examples of parasites that can lead to parasitic infestation, hence causing diarrhea. The first parasite is called this Entamoeba histolytica, which commonly causes amoebiasis. The second parasite is Giardia lamblia, which causes giardiasis. The next parasite is the Isospora belli, and of course accompanied by Cryptosporidium, among others. The fourth subclass of infective causes of diarrhea is what we call the fungi. So we can have fungal infection leading to diarrhea, as seen in one, Candidiasis or Candida albicans, in a condition called disseminated candidiasis. The second one is Histoplasma, among other fungi. Now, let's move to the second major class of the causes of diarrhea, and that is now the non-infective causes. So, of course, under the non-infective causes of diarrhea, we also have several categories. The first one is called nutritional causes, and this is as seen in malnutrition, particularly those individuals with zinc deficiency or even vitamin A. Kwashiorkor, marasmus, or even marasmic quash. The second non-infective cause of diarrhea is the inflammatory bowel disease, as seen in conditions such as the ulcerative colitis, number 2, Crohn's disease, among others. The third cause of non-infective diarrhea is what we call the irritable bowel syndrome, which is normally referred to as IBS. The next cause of non-infective diarrhea is poisoning, and this is very common in individuals who have suffered organophosphate poisoning. The next cause of non-infective diarrhea is the metabolic disorders. For example, individuals with hyperthyroidism, among other metabolic diseases. The next cause of non-infective diarrhea are the drugs, and under drugs, we have the non-medicinal drugs and the medicinal drugs. So under the non-medicinal drugs, of course, alcohol takes the lead. As usual, refrain from alcohol intake. Under medicinal drugs that can lead to diarrhea are what we call the groups of penicillins. For example, amoxicillin, benzyl penicillin, benzathine penicillin, among others. We can also have other groups like antacids or even PPIs, the proton pump inhibitors. For example, esomeprazoles, omeprazole, lansoprazole, among other examples. Our next cause of non-infective diarrhea belongs to the tumors. Those are growths of the gastrointestinal tract, as seen in colon cancer or colon tumors. Ladies and gentlemen, should you come across any client suffering diarrhea, or should you, as an individual, experiencing diarrhea, any relative, any neighbor, kindly please make quick referral to the nearby health facility for more investigation. Do not rush to self-medication. As you can see, there are several causes of diarrhea, and to isolate each one by one, therefore a serious investigation in terms of the laboratory investigation is then needed, and that can only take place in a health facility. If you are watching us for the very first time, kindly subscribe, and until next time, it's goodbye from all of us.